So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys a in-depth breakdown of how to complete the Ghosts and Skulls 2 Easter egg inside of Rave in the Redwoods. This should be the ultimate guide that you'll need to help you in every single step to understanding every single skull, how it works, and to ultimately get you this awesome Perkaholic Easter egg inside of Rave in the Redwoods. Now, if at any point this guide helps you out, then feel free to leave a like rating down below. The last Ghosts and Skulls tutorial went down super well, and I know you guys will enjoy this one. Now, without any further delay, let's start with the first skull, which is the 1992 skull. Now, around the map there is going to be 4 different traps which we're going to need a specific amount of kills with, this making up the number of the year of the map setting, 1992. So starting with the number 1, we need to simply get 1 zombie kill with this log trap by the dock. You simply need to have a zombie at the end of the round, activate the trap, let the zombie walk into it, and that will be the 1 in the 1992 kill combination needed. The next thing we're going to need to do is to get 9 kills with this trap by the archery range. You'll see this here. You need to get a specific amount of zombies. It has to be 9. It can't be any more or any less than that. It has to be specifically 9. So at the end of the round, just get a load of slow zombies. Make sure you keep counting them up to make sure that you have done this correctly and that you have a total of 9, because you won't get any indication you've done this right until we've gotten all of the kill requirements. After that, we need to get another 9 kills with the stage DJ trap, and this is nice because it lets the zombies dance around for a little bit before it kills them, and this gives you a good chance to sort of really count and see if you have 9. If you have any more than that, you can just quickly shoot and kill them before the trap goes off, and that should be an easy secure for that second 9. And the final kill requirement is 2 kills with the trap, which is the waterfall trap just outside of the spawn room. Just save 2 zombies at the end of the round, activate this trap, and once you've killed 2 zombies, it will take about 15 to 30 seconds, and you'll hear the little indication noise that you've got on the first skull, as it will sound like the exact same noise from zombies in Spaceland. If you go up to the arcade machine, that is the first skull. Now, once you've gotten that good, that is all well and good. Advance over to the next round and make sure you have yourself a packet to enter into Rave mode. Now, you want to go up to the Ghosts and Skulls 2 machine, and you're going to notice a symbol on this machine. You want to pay attention and remember this symbol, because this is going to be very important, because we're going to need to match it up with a corresponding symbol that looks exactly the same somewhere around the map. So aim down your sights at the machine, make note of what the symbol is, and it's going to disappear. You'll then need to want to advance to another round and get yourself into Rave mode, and there's a total of 9 possible locations that this symbol could spawn in. Now, these random every game, and what may happen is you might see a symbol which is completely different to the one that you did see on the machine. If you see a different symbol, please don't look at it, because if you do, the Easter egg will count that as your sort of answer to the machine quiz, and that will fail you, and you'll have to go into another round, look at the machine again, and it will give you a different symbol. But there are a total of 9 different locations. These are all random. We're going to start off with checking the window inside of the electric room. We also have the urinal in the mess hall's barricade window. We have this corner of the swampy area just past the mess halls, and it's near the barricade that takes you through the little sewage system. There's also this cabin in Camp Owl. A potential spot can be inside of the bait and tackle shop. It can also be in this tire in this barricade right next to Slappy Taffy. It can also be situated right behind the boat that you take to dock onto the island. It's going to be in this little area around here. And it can also be on the island itself in this little window, which is just above where you enter Rave mode if you are on that island. But that's not all. There is a further 2 more locations for us, and these are situated around the recreation area, the sort of Rave section. So if you're making your way from the Rave section up towards the archery bit, there's going to be this tree which is standing upright, and if you look towards the sort of middle of its log, you should be able to notice a symbol if you're looking for it and you can't find it in the other places. And the other location can be on the actual archery section itself, on one of these sort of hay barrels towards the middle of that section. This step is essentially a game of hide and seek. You're going to need to find this symbol, and if you've checked all these locations and you've not found it, then do not worry. Just advance onto the next round, enter Rave mode, and then you should be able to find this corresponding symbol. And if you don't, you just need to keep playing the rounds out and checking Rave mode every round until you do find it, because you will eventually find it, and the game will throw some different symbols at you to try and throw you off course. This step has given me a ton of grief, so hopefully explaining that in a little bit more detail will make it much more easier for you guys to understand and for you to complete this step pretty easily. But once you have managed to find the symbol and you look at it, you're going to hear that same sound and you'll have 2 skulls on the machine. Now this third skull is extremely easy. Make your way down to the power room and to this throwing knife minigame, and when you activate it, you're going to notice a skull surrounding the zombie. You just want to throw your throwing knife at that skull, you'll hear the noise, and we will have the third skull. Now for our fourth skull, we're going to be looking again for another set of symbols similar to the second step, but this is going to spell out a word. Now I want to give a big thank you to Glitching Queen for making this simple image which explains how we're going to spell the word skull. So in the same locations that we mentioned in step 2, you're going to be checking all of those, because eventually you're going to find this A which represents the S. Once you've found that and you stared at it, that's it, you've got it. Now I'm not too sure if you have to do this all inside of one Rave mode session, but I would recommend it. Just keep talking to the fairies and topping up your Rave meter and checking all the locations. We're going to be spelling the word skull in total, so it's very straightforward once you've found every single possible letter that links and spells the word skull. And don't worry if you mess up, just exit Rave mode, go back in, and you should be able to start afresh where the symbols will have moved around a little bit. Once you have spelt the word skull, again you'll hear the activation noise, and on the Ghosts and Skulls machine you'll now have 4 of 6 skulls, and we can move on to the 5th and final thing before we get inside the fight itself, and this is going to be down in the boat area. You want to ride the boat, and as you make your way over to the little island, there's going to be a mini Ghosts and Skulls game where there's going to be a ton of ghost heads floating, and what you need to do is just shoot them. They're going to be moving into the air and turning red, and once they turn red, if a small amount of them escape, then you'll have failed it and you'll have to take the boat again and keep retrying. I will admit that using stuff such as akimbo weaponry, where you don't have to aim down sights but have really good range and hip fire spread, that is going to be something which is going to be very simple for you, and you'll know when you finished it because you'll just be shooting and eventually all of them will disappear into like a puff of green smoke, and you will hear that activation noise, meaning you've got the skull. So now we're on to the 6th and final skull, and all you need for this is to build the Ben Franklin crossbow. Now if you have no idea how to get yourself any of the crossbows or to upgrade it specifically to the Ben Franklin, then I'll leave links down below in the description, but it essentially is the electric crossbow, and what you want to do is just shoot it at the Ghosts and Skulls machine. That will activate the 6th skull, and if all players interact with the machine all at once, they will go inside into the Ghosts and Skulls game. Now if you're familiar with the original Ghosts and Skulls, then you're going to feel right at home, but this is a much more difficult version of Ghosts and Skulls than the original one from Zombies in Spaceland. That was a complete walk in the park to what we had now. It starts with a simple row of 3 where we have colours of green, yellow and blue, and it's pretty straightforward. You use your gun to entangle the ghosts and launch them towards the designated ghost skull colours. But as things go on, the orders get more and more tricky, and what happens is you'll be shown an order and then the skulls will turn around and you need to remember the colours. Now if you have a capture card at hand, then this makes things a ton easier, as you can simply screenshot the frame the moment the skulls appear to show their colour. It's a very easy way to do it, and it's the way that I personally managed to do it. If you're trying to remember this by memory, then you're going to have a bit of a tough time, but these skull heads do spin around from time to time, so you can be reminded of what colours you have left and what colours you need to shoot. Now if at any point you hit the wrong colour, you'll notice the skull will turn red and start flying towards the portal on the other end of the room. Now if you notice, there are red ghosts flying around, and if you can entangle a red ghost and hit it on the skull that's flying away, then that actually cancels out that skull, because if you get 3 skulls that escape during each session, then you will have failed and you'll be sent back and you have to re-enter the machine again. But the 3rd and final phase is really tricky, because these skulls move closer and closer to the back of the room, which gives you very little space to work with and some crazy angles that you need to be able to angle perfectly so that you're hitting them and you're not missing them, because it basically backs you up into a corner, and if you don't do it quick enough, then you will fail. You'll be brought back into Rave in the Redwoods, and you'll simply need to just shock the machine to re-end, and you can do this as many times as you want until you of course beat it. Now when you do complete the Ghosts and Skulls Easter egg, you'll be giving yourselves all perks, of course, for standard as usual, but we now have a brand new afterlife token, which is this little ghost skull head. Now what happens here is in co-op, you essentially have unlimited revives to get yourself out of the arcade, which is awesome. Normally you're only allowed a total of 3, and you have to wait to the end of the round before you can come back, but with this you can see when you're playing the mini games you have this massive skull head, and essentially it is a unlimited meter where you can always bring yourself back from the afterlife, which is a really awesome addition. But that, my friends, wraps up this guide for the Ghosts and Skulls 2 Easter egg. If you guys did find this useful, then be sure to smash that thumbs up button, as I really would appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comment section if you need any people to help you out on this Easter egg, be it on Xbox Live, PSN or PC. Be sure to drop your gamer tags down there, and I'm sure they'll be able to find some people to pair up with you and be able to do this awesome Easter egg, get yourself all of the perks. And what's awesome is if you go into the Afterlife arcade and bring yourself back multiple times, you will always keep all of your perks, which is absolutely amazing and a really nice sort of addition and upgrade to what we saw previously in Zombies in Spaceland. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe for more awesome zombie content like this. I'll catch you in another video very, very soon.